And we have our next team, Shoes Dollar. Am I saying that correct?
That's the name of the game, Shoes Dollar.
Shoes Dollar.
Quick synopsis that I have on this one so far. As a deity of wind and skies, you have been tasked with collecting change. Good luck. I'm wondering what change means in this context. So
Yeah,
that's an
interesting,
interesting
interesting.
idea. That's all the details I have so far, and let's pull up the video and see what's up. I
And I
don't believe
believe
this.
Evan is the developer for this game.
Yes, Evan's the developer.
Awesome,
We'll
awesome.
give them a chance to chat while we show the video.
For sure.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. It's been a while since I've been on Zoom. Um, so this is my first Game Jam game. I really appreciate y'all having me on here. This game was made in the past 2 weeks. I took the theme and just kind of went literal with it. We had a few ideas on the list. I talked to a few of my friends and they helped me put an idea together. So, as you can see here, we have a little dialogue going where it's just straight exposition. Here's what's going on. Now, the game itself is just a platformer where you're collecting change. So you can see change up. You see the change on the screen, how much money you are collecting, and it's all because at the beginning you're asked for $1.
That's
So,
awesome.
and a few more things to kind of go with the theme. Your name is Shu. You might already know that is the Egyptology deity of wind.
Mm.
That's where the name came from. Uh, what else here? So that building that the character just jumped off of was also a building that I don't know if anybody's into architecture. It's the formerly known as the Sears Tower.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So that's what that building was based off, so that I could place the setting here in Chicago, making it the Windy City.
Oh, that's super clever. I love a double entendre with that. That's awesome. I think that's cool. I think I saw it in the chat. Like, this guy's moving, dude. Like, the animations are really fun to watch him just flip around.
Thank you so much. They were actually stand-in animations. I was hoping to get uh, fully drawn characters into this game, and so I kind of drew those up just to play around with.
Yeah, they look amazing, and the music, it's giving parkour. If anyone remembers, like the planking trend, but like just perfectly paced.
Oh yeah, thank you. That was that was pretty much the idea here. This is the first game that I wouldn't fully call it completed, but you know we start a lot of projects and we don't finish them, and I use this game jam to really push that, and I just appreciate having the opportunity.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, welcome on screen. I thought that was amazing. I was also going to comment, I think I saw it in the chat, the end screen where you're jumping on the words. Amazing touch. I think just having that mechanic continue into the end credits was really awesome. So I genuinely love that. I've been seeing people comment on this, but yeah, I'll start off like,
That's
how did
true.
you come up with this idea and like overall concept? I mean, I love it's simple. It's you're collecting change for $1.
Yeah, so started off, I had a whole list. I was gonna brainstorm it, figure out what does change mean. Unfortunately, I missed the the discussion for the topic, and so I just took the title and kind of ran with it. And so I thought, Well, I had a few things on the list, and then when I talked to some of my friends, they wanted to help me out with the game. And so one of the ideas was to have a person who can kind of control the wind, and he kind of moves around on the wind as a platformer. And so that's where it started, and it was going to have a bit more lore to it. But as I saw that I'm not very well seasoned in game development, it's like without a lot of time, let me back up to one of my earlier ideas where I'm just actually collecting change in the wind. So that's where the idea came from.
Yeah, that's awesome. The concept of actually being in the Windy City, doing windy activities is funny to me. I think that's just very comedic. Um,
I agree.
Also, congrats on your first Game Jam game. Like, I just
Oh,
want to
thank
take a
you.
minute.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome. Welcome to the community. Hopefully, you're addicted and you stay with us if you
And
like
it
it.
works. It's playable. The character moves around pretty solid, it seems like.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun to play with. I think my first thought when getting into this game jam was I do not want to make a platformer because I don't want to deal with physics. But then talking to my friends, I was like, this is the idea we have. Here we go. So,
Nice, nice. That's awesome. Well, what for you, I'm assuming, was like the most fun parts of creating this the past 2 weeks?
oh, the most fun. I think the most fun for me was probably the animations. That like I had a little bit of work before in animation, not official work, just messing around with drawing and playing around with sprites, editing sprites, and so making something that actually looked like I wanted to look the first time just was it was amazing to me. I was like, okay, this actually looks like what I was thinking. So that was a lot of fun.
Awesome,
Also,
awesome.
making the song, like I've never like made a song before, so I was looking into some of the resources that were given, and there was this program that was up on itch and was like, yeah, try this out. I was like, okay, well, I need a song, let me, let me throw something together. And so put a few tracks in, and it also came out with something that sounded all right for me. There's a lot of mixing and different audio things that I do not understand that I would need to get into to really make something that I could put on a disc. But what I had there was fun to listen to for a
That's
moment.
awesome.
After a while, it kind of gets really annoying.
That's
That's
really cool.
awesome.
Like knowing you made that from scratch, like I am by no means an audio engineer, so all of that stuff is way above my head, but like it sounded
Oh,
awesome to me,
same.
like very arcade based. Like I felt like I was like just playing a little arcade game. Like you did an amazing job on the music too, so congrats on that.
Well, thank you.
It's true. It's nice to know that those resources came in handy for some folks to make something quick.
Oh
That's why
yeah,
we
yes,
provide them.
thank you so much for the resources. I was digging through all all of the media there.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Also, a comment that Sai had mentioned. It's very mindful, very Mirror's Edge for the game.
That's good.
Oh,
That's so
thank you.
good.
Mirror's Edge is a big inspiration because I used to do parkour. My friends, knees catch up with you, and it's, still try to get out there. It's a lot of fun, but
Real talk.
That's
I'm with
awesome.
you on that. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
That is very cool. Well, you've already touched a little bit more on the game kind of surrounding Winds of Change, but is there any more specific ingredients that you feel like you weaseled into for this game? If you don't remember them, I can also recite, but um, was there any inspo taken away from our special ingredients?
well, I wanted to keep it really simple. Like black pepper really got into my mind. I was like, don't do anything crazy your first game. So I really thought about that a bit. But I wanted something cute and cozy. I just personally wasn't gonna be able to pull off the art for it, but I did think about that a lot. So honey was in there. Well, the thought was in there.
Awesome, awesome. And I think I kind of heard that Old Bay kind of seems to have snuck in there because I think you were saying you had some of the bits and pieces of the animation prior that kind of made its way into the project, but I could be wrong on that.
Oh no, well I'm from Maryland, so I love Old Bay, but I didn't have anything else created before I started the project. It was just boxes, and then I was like, I need to look at something jumping. So we started drawing.
Cool, cool, cool.
That's dope.
Awesome, awesome. Well,
Yeah.
do you have any thoughts on like expanding the game at all or adding to this or anything? I know it's your first game jam, but um, what do you think for your first project?
I mean, honestly, I'm just glad to be able to do it. I think I'm gonna move on to other projects, and this is fun, and I might come back to, playing around with platformers. There were probably 3 or 4 mechanics I wanted to implement in here that just didn't have time to pull it off the way I liked it to be. So I probably won't continue this particular game, but I'll always have it. So that's nice.
Awesome,
Okay.
awesome.
Okay.
Very cool. Very cool.
One thing I wanted to, I don't think we mentioned it before, but you made this in Godot, and
Mhm.
we haven't had many game entries that were made with Godot. And for your first game jam, to choose Godot over one of the other engines as an option was a deliberate choice. So, any comments about your experience using the engine and how that, has been to get to this point?
Godot made it a lot simpler because it's got a really simple scripting mechanics, and I understood the nodes once I really uh, took time to get what their structure was. Because I started out with Unity a long time ago, then RPG Maker and Game Maker, Visual Novel Maker, a bunch of different engines, and coming back to Godot, and then the 4.0 version, I think it made it a lot simpler for me, but it was also a learning experience because I'd never exported the game, like built it into a playable version. And that's usually something that is a little iffy for me because I can't write a compiler or anything. So Godot made it a good choice. Especially, I hear a lot that it's a good beginner engine, and so I was kind of testing that out a bit. Is this a great beginner engine?
That's
So,
so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Godot. It's open source, so many people like add to the community and have all these shortcuts and the full customization that you can do with it. So I'm happy to see it like picking up popularity with like beginner developers and stuff too, because I think at first it was a little rough around the edges, but now to see a lot of stuff come out of there, I'm really happy. So that's awesome. That's super cool.
oh yeah, I
Um,
hope it gets better as well because there's a lot of support for it. Of course,
yeah.
it's a bunch of different things being said about the creation of it, but it being open source is really cool. Like I use the add-on, the Dialogic add-on to do the dialogue at the beginning, and so that was kind of, drop in and just work it, and it worked pretty well. So I am very interested in what other add-ons could help make, making parts of the game easier.
That's
Right?
super cool. That's super cool. I'll kind of piggyback off of that Godot discussion and for example, what do you find that maybe needs improvement in the gaming experiments, or just like what was more challenging potentially in your creation of the game using Godot?
I think some of it is just not having enough experience myself, but uh, trying to figure out like game resolution in Godot and in the project setting. Some of it's kind of early. They're still changing like how to build an HTML version of the game, or uh, how to make sure it's compatible with different operating systems. That was still a bit new to me, but I also had some of those issues in Unity. I think for Godot, there's just a few user interface things that are kind of uh, they're kind of annoying. They're not really game breaking. I wouldn't say this is just too cumbersome to hack, but they were just in the way when you're trying to do something that should be simple.
Right.
Mm.
Right. Well, that's cool. I'm gonna have to check out that plugin for myself, to be honest, because any plugins for Godot are super helpful. But if it was just a plug and play, I might ping you for some info on that.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for sharing your game and your experience, and congrats on completing your first game jam. I'll
Congrats,
give another
Evan.
round of applause. Congrats,
Oh, thank
congrats.
you, thank you.
And thank you for spending some time to talk to us about it. I learned some new stuff for my Godot developing, so I think that was really, really awesome. So thank you. We'll let you sink back into the crowd now, but please go check out Shoes Dollar, everybody.